Hello, my name is Andy Sutton. I'm the Executive Director of the University of Minnesota Extension's Southeast Regional Sustainable Development Partnership, also known as the Southeast RSDP. We are part of Extension's statewide RSDP that supports community-initiated sustainability ideas with University of Minnesota partnerships in the form of grants, network connecting, capacity building, and other strategies. In the Southeast, we have had the privilege of supporting a community-led initiative that's taking place in your county, the Minnesota Driftless Hiking Trail, through a new University of Minnesota program, Empowering Small Minnesota Communities. The Empowering Small Minnesota Communities program financially supports collaborative partnerships between Minnesota communities and university resources to identify, develop, and leverage their assets in order to strengthen and improve their infrastructure. The Minnesota Driftless Hiking Trail is one of dozens of projects across the state funded by ESMC in its inaugural year. I'll now introduce Marty Walsh, who leads the Minnesota Driftless Hiking Trail, who will share more with you about this initiative.
Minnesota Driftless Hiking Trail is an independent, volunteer-led effort to bring a 125-mile-long backpacking trail to southeast Minnesota. The trail hopes to tie together existing trails on public and private land, low traffic roads, and new access agreements with willing private landowners. Our hope is that this low impact trail can bring attention and activity to parts of Fillmore and Houston counties that have so far not been part of the outdoor recreation economy, and create a new appreciation for the region as a whole.
4 different University of Minnesota programs, 3 of them out of Extension, are working together to support this effort. Southeast RSDP, which is delivering funding through the ESMC, Resource Access, Connections, and Strategy, the Tourism Center, the Department of Community Development's Leadership and Civic Engagement Program, and the College of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resources, Department of Forest Resources. You'll hear more about each program's contribution shortly.
Hello, my name is Xinyi Qian. I'm the director of the University of Minnesota Tourism Center. The Tourism Center was created in 1987 with generous support from the travel, tourism, and hospitality industry, as well as the University of Minnesota. Our mission is to empower, prepare, and support the tourism industry and communities engaging in tourism for success and sustainability. For over 35 years, Tourism Center staff have conducted hundreds of research studies, provided education to over 100,000 individuals, and has had a positive impact on communities across Minnesota and beyond. The primary focuses of the Tourism Center include community tourism development and outdoor recreation through applied research, educational and training programs, as well as outreach and engagement. For the Driftless Hiking Trail project, I am working with Marty to communicate and coordinate with the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. The goal is to make a progress for the hiking trail while also creating a productive partnership with the Department of Natural Resources.
I am Mel Baumann, a professor emeritus from the Department of Forest Resources. My department engages in research, education, and extension to advance the science and management of forest resources. To support the Minnesota Driftless Hiking Trail, I prepared a 35-page report recommending standards for its design, construction, and maintenance. It begins with a description of the hiking experience to be offered. That leads to recommendations for where to place the trail in fields and forests, along roadsides, and through towns. There are design standards for 20 subjects, ranging from trail grade and stream crossings to fences and campsites. Then I recommend the types of trail signs needed to provide a safe and enjoyable hiking experience. My report concludes with a short section on volunteers needed to support the trail. This information can be used to support requests for financial aid, estimate construction costs, explain to landowners how the trail will look on their properties, build a safe and sustainable trail, and recruit volunteers.
My name is Isabel Hewitt-Link, and I am an Assistant Extension Professor of Leadership and Civic Engagement in the Department of Community Development. Extension's Leadership and Civic Engagement team partners with local, state, and tribal governments nonprofit organizations, and groups of engaged community members to co-design educational programs focused on building skills, strengthening connections, and increasing confidence of leaders, collectively creating vibrant Minnesota communities. Over 3,000 alumni of our programs are dispersed across the state. To increase the community support of the Driftless hiking trail, I'm working with Marty to develop and facilitate community forums in key locations that the trail will pass nearby and through. These forums will provide information on the trail, answer frequently asked questions and address common concerns, invite feedback, input, and insight, and foster diverse support and engagement with the trail project. We plan to host community forums in Fillmore and Houston counties in communities that may include Chatfield, Caledonia, Wayland, and Spring Grove. We will share finalized dates and locations in the coming weeks, and we welcome your input on where we could publicize them. We hope to share these plans with you so that you may be aware of and inspired by this project. And with your help, we may address concerns of community members, build support for this project, and expand the volunteer base.
Working with RSDP and University of Minnesota partners has brought energy and structure to our project and helped us continue to move forward over the last year. The technical aid for our map development came at a key time as we were reaching the limits of our volunteers' capacity and skills. Mel's work on the design guidelines saved us countless hours of work for our LCCMR grant process. Janine's ongoing assistance developing relationships within the tourism sector and understanding state bureaucratic structure has been a textbook case of bringing St. Paul connections to greater Minnesota. And Andy's general management of the process has been a great double check on our own internal project management. We look forward to continuing to work with this group, as well as the work being planned with Isabel that will combine our team's history and relationships in the region with a more broadly approachable method that will help make sure we hear all voices, especially as we will be bringing on board our new director this month.
We are reaching out to you, CEC members, as prominent community members and key advocates of the University of Minnesota to consider supporting this extension project that is directly targeting rural and underserved communities in your counties. We humbly ask you to consider sharing this project, as well as the upcoming community forum information, with your friends, neighbors, and colleagues. We hope to consider you partners and stakeholders for the Driftless Trail, potential supporters or volunteers, to build knowledge, awareness, and support for this important project. As we share dates for the community forums, we hope you may also get the word out and encourage your networks to attend.
Thank you so much for your time and for your collaboration on getting the word out about this great project and these upcoming initiatives in your area. For more information about the Empowering Small Minnesota Communities Project or this university collaboration, feel free to contact me. My contact information is on this video. And if you want to learn more about the Minnesota Driftless Hiking Trail, please feel free to reach out directly to Marty. His email is on this slide. He's the lead organizer and can share a bunch of additional information about this great initiative. Thank you again for your time and have a wonderful evening.